Hey there. I was on Facebook yesterday and I came across this news that Koichi Sugiyama, the composer of the Dragon Quest series, passed away on September 30th of 2021, this year. So it was like a week ago. Now, I recorded a tribute. Um, I recorded a tribute yesterday, and while I was reviewing it, there are a few songs I got missed. Not only that, but I also browsed the Wikipedia page to look up the other works he's done, and that part kind of dragged on a bit. So I want to focus on I just want to do a more simpler version on that. I don't know, I didn't like what I recorded yesterday, and I want to have another attempt today. Just talk about Koichi Sugiyama, and I want to appreciate his music, what his work, how his work is done. Now I know there's controversy with Koichi Sugiyama. He said some homophobic things in an interview. According to Wikipedia, it was said in an interview back in 2007. That's 14 years ago. And I'm thinking, is it possible that his opinions have changed over the years? I mean, I had homophobic opinions back when I was in high school. I have an older sister who gave birth to twins while I was a senior in high school. Now they're old enough to be in high school. That's how long ago I have been in high school. It's been 14 years. If my opinions on homosexuality can change, I mean, I'm a straight guy, but if my opinions on homosexuality can change in those 14 years, I'm sure his can change too. And if you're one of those people who are like, oh no, he's ignorant and he'll always be ignorant, and I doubt he'll ever change, what does that make you? You're one of those people who think that people can't change over years. You're probably one of those people who said some horrible things in the past, and you attack people for saying horrible things in the past, and it's and when they go after you, it's no, you don't understand. I've changed. No. If you make that assumption of other people, don't get upset when people point the finger at you. The people who said that ignorant people won't change, they're ignorant as well. If there's anything I've learned the past few years, is that the people who preach about being against the hate the most are the most hateful. So I just want to leave it at that. Now, I want to get to the actual topic of what I want to talk about in this video. It's about Koichi Sugiyama's music. I've been a fan of the Dragon Quest series since I was in college. I discovered emulation in college, and there I played various emulators like NES, Super NES, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis. So I tried various JRPGs, and that's where I truly discovered Dragon Quest series. I've marathoned the Dragon Quest series back when I was in college. And, some of the things that got me through the series was not just Akira Toriyama's art style, not just the fantastic characters and story, but also the music. Koichi Sugiyama's music is one of the best music I've ever heard in a JRPG. I've actually come to the conclusion the past few years, yeah, he is one of my favorite composers, video game composers. Now, from what I know, looking at his work on Wikipedia, he has been in, he's been composing music since the 1950s, 1960s. For the first few decades of his, music career, he was doing exclusive, TV shows, movies, soap opera, that sort of thing. And it was around 1985 he started doing music. I'm looking at his Wikipedia, and he's done it was when he first did Dragon Quest, in 1986. He was already middle aged, 40s and 50s, somewhere around there. And I know it's damn bug. I mean, it's not where. Did I not hit that bug? I mean, if it's, I mean, it's outside of the television and film that he's been so used to for decades. But you know, for the music on the NES, it's like, yeah, it's not the orchestra symphony music he's used to, but like, there are some very memorable tracks on the NES from the Dragon Quest series. Like, you know, you listen to Mario or Zelda on the NES, it's like, it's very simple. But the music out in the Dragon Quest series on the NES is much more complex. And there are some very fantastic tracks that are like, if there's anything I remember from the Dragon Quest series, is that like the happy music is very uplifting, very catchy. The emotional music is very emotional. The fighting music is just epic. From the NES years, one of my favorite tracks is like would include like G-Ping from Dragon Quest 3, which takes place in a town that's like the ancient Japan town, like ancient Japanese culture. The music that plays in that town is very catchy. It's my favorite track in Dragon Quest 3. Dragon Quest 4, you have the final battle theme that is just absolutely rocking. Like, I have not come across a heavy metal remix of that song. I feel like a heavy metal remix of that song, of like the final battle theme from Dragon Quest 4, would be very epic. Something I remember from when James Ralph did his video on Sega Genesis versus Super Nintendo, one of the things he brought up was that when it came to Super Nintendo music, you start hearing the actual instruments, you start hearing, you know, the actual symphony and orchestra. And Dragon Quest V on the Super Nintendo, like the first Dragon Quest game on the Super Nintendo, that's where you start hearing it. Like, you start hearing that symphony orchestra music that he has been doing for decades, and Dragon Quest V has amazing music. I remember when I first played Dragon Quest V, and I heard that Ocean Voyage song. It's it's a song that plays while you're on the ship. The first time I heard it, I'm like, this is an amazing song. It really just stuck to me. And there are just so many songs that really stuck out to me in Dragon Quest V. Mystical Realm of the Fairies. The main battle theme, Monsters. The town theme, Friendly and Peace. Friendly and Peaceful. What is it called again? Yeah, just Friendly and Peaceful. I'm like not exactly looking at the entire track, but there's like one track in particular. Theme of Love, sometimes called Melody of Love, when it was listed as when it was remixed for Dragon Quest XI. Theme of Love is a song that also from Dragon Quest V, especially, that stuck into my head. In Dragon Quest V, you go through your like entire life of this one hero, like childhood, adulthood, marriage, and then parenthood. And there's like one part in the game where you have to choose between these two women and who you gonna marry. You know, the childhood friend, or like this one woman who is arranged in his marriage by her father. So you're like choosing between like the childhood friend or this new woman, and there's this like moment like where you spend the evening going around town talking to everyone, as well as the two bachelorettes, while the song called Theme of Love plays. And this song truly stuck in my head. Like, this is a very romantic, very emotional song that just stuck out to me the most in Dragon Quest V. Next is Dragon Quest VIII. Dragon Quest VIII on the PlayStation 2, for a long period of time, was my favorite Dragon Quest game until 11 came out. Like, it was everything. Epic, beautifully written, just the whole package. And there were songs in that in that game that just stuck out. Like the main world theme, like it's called To a Vast World. it is just so incredibly epic when you walk the world of this game and you heard this bum 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 bum. It just builds and builds and just boom, just you feel like you're on this grand adventure. Everything just fits, like the town music, the battle music. One of the more memorable tracks from it, Dragon Quest VIII, is called "These Feelings." And I think a lot of fans of Dragon Quest VIII soundtrack would definitely point to this song. Like, this is a song that plays during emotional moments. One moment that brings up the most is like this one king who couldn't get over his queen's death, so they had to get this harp player who would bring back the dead just for one day, and the king is able to see all his memories of his dead wife just so he could finally let her go. And this song called "These Feelings" played, through all of his memories, and that part of the game really touched me. And the song "These Feelings" it plays at all the emotional moments, and it just really hits you. Then there's Dragon Quest IX, and I'm going through this because I didn't want to just stall on just every single Dragon Quest game and on one specific song that just on each Dragon Quest game. I just want to sample just a bit of the songs that really stuck out to me the most. Here's the thing about Final Fantasy. I've only played half of the Final Fantasy library. As I'm recording this, I am currently still playing Final Fantasy 2, and not every song in the Final Fantasy series has stuck out. Only half of the half of the soundtrack from each Final Fantasy game has kind of stuck out to me. But when it comes to the Dragon Quest series, it seems like the great majority of the soundtrack has stuck out. So here I am moving to Dragon Quest IX on the Nintendo DS. The thing about the Dragon Quest IX is that I think I remember when I first played it back in 2009? It's been that long ago. But I think I remember when I first played this game on the DS, yeah, this soundtrack for the great majority of songs sounds really childish. Koichi Sugiyama's yeah, this is the DS. The characters are much more chibi form. It's gonna be more balancing. I don't know. It's not as that epic as previous Dragon Quest soundtracks at the time. Oh, except for one song, Heaven's Prayer. The first time I heard that song, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to listen to this soundtrack. I can't wait to hear how epic it sounds. No, that first track, Heaven's Prayer, set the bar so goddamn high that all the other songs in the soundtrack just did not compare. I'm like, why? How come the other songs in Dragon Quest IX just cannot compare to Heaven's Prayer? In fact, there are a number of, when Hero was put into Super Smash Brothers, they didn't, have the orchestra versions. It was the MIDI versions, because Koichi Sugiyama believed the only reason you should hear these songs is in the concert hall itself. And that was actually the downside of the music in Super Smash Bros. It's the MIDI versions, and it was not a great library. That's something I have to admit. But I am disappointed that there aren't certain songs remixed in Super Smash Bros. One of them being Heaven's Prayer from Dragon Quest IX. I can't talk about Dragon Quest X because that game never came to the US, although it's been announced for the Switch, so I'm hoping for the Switch release to come here to the US. I can't wait to play it. But I should talk about Dragon Quest XI. after playing that game became my new most favorite Dragon Quest game. You know, it did much more. It did much better than everything that Dragon Quest 8 did. Like Dragon Quest 8 is still number 2 for me. And I find it very surprising. Like, it's not much of the original songs in Dragon Quest 11 that stuck out to me the most, but in Dragon Quest 11, what really stuck out to me the most are the more remixed versions of songs from past Dragon Quest games, like Saints Wreath, for example. That song came out in Dragon Quest 6, and when I first heard it in Dragon Quest 6, like, oh yeah, that's a nice tune, but other songs in Dragon Quest 6 overshadowed Saints Wraith, but hearing it in remix in Dragon Quest 11 really stuck out to me the most. And I can't wait for like the next time I play Dragon Quest 6, like, to hear Saints Wraith. Like, yeah, I could just go to my music library and listen to the Saints Wraith version from Dragon Quest 6 on the Super Nintendo, but like something about the more updated version of Dragon Quest 11 like really stood out. Maybe it was just the scene that played in Dragon Quest 11 was much more impactful than it was in Dragon Quest 6. Like, maybe it was like wasted in Dragon Quest. I don't know. I have to replay Dragon Quest 6 again. But like in Dragon Quest 11, Dragon Quest 6, Saints Wraith really stood out in that game. Like, I'm sorry if that sounds a bit rambling. Now, of course, something that I've discovered in the Wikipedia page is like he didn't do just the Dragon Quest series; he did other games as well. And if you go onto his Wikipedia page, the great majority of these other games that he's composed were Enix games. You know, before combined with Square to become Square Enix. Looking at the list of other games he's done a game called Jesus, released in 1987. I actually have that game on my list. I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to be like the next Let's Play I do, but it's on the list. And there are like a number of games on here that I'm actually interested in playing because I want to listen to more music that he's done other than Dragon Quest. Such as Eevio Search for Eden on the Super Nintendo. I believe that's an action RPG, and you look at after like the year 2000, it seems like the only games he's done were Dragon Quest games. Like, the last game he's done that wasn't Dragon Quest was Shiren the Wanderer 2, released in the year 2000. And that is the last non-Dragon Quest game that he's composed. After that, it's just straight up Dragon Quest. And Dragon Quest 12 was announced earlier this year. And something that I have come to thought of like earlier this year was that, you know, Koichi Sugiyama, he's old. Who would compose the music of the Dragon Quest series after he passes away? And now that he's passed away, that is something I now definitely have to think about. Like, how is the music going to be for the Dragon Quest series from here on out? You know, is the new composer going to have that same emotional pull that his music has done, you know, in the past Dragon Quest games? Like, from, you know, playing through the Dragon Quest series, hearing all the music, he quickly became one of my most favorite composers. And now I'm just wondering who's the new composer for Dragon Quest 12 is going to be, and how's their music going to line up in comparison. Like, and, you know, he did more than just video games. He also done film and television. Like it seems like his earliest credits went to Sky Earth 5, released in 1967, and his last film was like Dragon Quest: Your Story, the Dragon Quest movie based on the fifth Dragon Quest game, released in 2019, which I have yet to see. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a reaction on some of these movies and TV shows, because I don't want to do just Let's Plays. And I think that's all I want to say. If there's anyone watching, like the video, please subscribe and have a nice day. Bye.